Shantae Risky Revolution is a revived Game Boy Advance title released in 2025 that features a Single-Pak Link multiplayer mode. This one-card battle mode is accessible right from the main menu. Uniquely, Risky Revolution is one of the very few GBA games to explain how the Single-Pak Link multiplayer mode works. How Player 1 is designated as a system with the cartridge, whereas Players 2 through 4 need to have empty GBAs in standby mode. So kudos to the developers for explaining how this works in-game. After the program is loaded into the empty GBAs, the last man standing gameplay just starts without options to adjust. There is also only one available stage, and each player is automatically assigned a playable character with designated color, but they all essentially have the same moveset. One button jumps and another performs a melee attack. The gimmick comes from trying to knock your opponent onto spikes. You can't damage your opponent by simply hitting them with your melee attack. Occasionally, the screen will rotate, causing players not grabbing onto the back fence to fall. At first, rotations don't happen often, but increase in frequency as the match lingers. Attacking is sort of interesting because there are varying degrees of strength depending on how long the button is held. Connecting with a simple tap is nothing more than a short stun, whereas holding the button for a few seconds causes your opponent to get knocked around like a pinball, allowing for a greater chance to fly into spikes, especially during rotations. Take a few hits and it's game over, whereas the last player standing wins. If you charge a big hit, an item might pop out on a rare occasion, but I found this to be very unreliable. If playing with 3 or 4 players, the first players out simply must wait for the match to end but can freely move the camera. I admire Risky Revolution's Single-Pak Link mode because it manages to cram 4 players, a short but catchy tune, and a rotating environment into the GBA's tiny amount of RAM. So it's technically impressive even though there isn't much depth, excitement, or replay value. Limiting the experience to one stage, no options, in an environment that doesn't really have that many hazards means that battles can be long and drawn out without much variety. Also, I noticed that when playing with a roster of 3 to 4 players, there's noticeable lag and dropped frames. It's also worth pointing out that this game is Single-Pak Link only. There is no option for multi-cart link. At the time of this video, the digital version of Risky Revolution is not yet available on current-gen consoles, but the battle mode is supposed to make that transition. I'm guessing it will remain as a local multiplayer offering, but whether it'll have more stages, options, and a cleaner frame rate has yet to be seen. So even though Risky Revolution's Single-Pak Link mode isn't high on the list of one-cart multiplayer modes on GBA, it still deserves props and recognition. I mean, this is a cancelled GBA game that has been given new life thanks to the efforts of the original developer and limited run. There have been many new GBA games to get released over the last few years, but this new Shantae title is the only one to include a Single-Pak Link multiplayer mode. For that, this title is something special, one that I personally think is really cool and happy that it exists. Plus, the rotating screen effect is impressive, especially coming from a single cart, as each player controls a different non-sprite swapped character. So for dedicated Shantae fans, give this multiplayer mode a curious attempt, even though it won't hold your attention for long. But what do you think? Did you have a chance to play this lost Shantae game? Which Shantae game is your favorite? And will you wait for the digital version to be released on current consoles? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to learn more about the Game Boy Advance's Single-Pak Link mode, I've covered every compatible game that supports this neglected feature with its own video and blog post. There are just over 100 games that make use of this one-cart link feature, and some of them are pretty good, some are pretty bad, and some are really interesting. I'll leave links to my dedicated Single-Pak playlist, which contains top 10 lists, in the description. It took me about 3 years to document all this, and I'm the only person on the internet to record this forgotten multiplayer mode with any sort of detail, so I hope you'll check it out and help spread the word. Until next time, thank you for watching, and game on!